So this is for the Mozart Don Giovanni, the Overture, two excerpts. They're both on the first page. I have a different edition than you do, but so the main thing this will be looking for is if you can play a real spiccato at a high speed, and if you can't, then how well you play the notes in tune. But focusing on the spiccato, I recommend that you spend some time practicing the speed of this, and maybe like I'm used to concert tempo because I've had to play it before. Except it's piano at the beginning. I was missing the forte dynamic you have. And then, now one thing about intonation, this for everybody, when you put down the fourth finger at high speed, it will tend to sound flat. So make sure the note is at the very least really in tune and maybe a little bit sharp. And I wouldn't say that's excessively sharp what I'm doing, but if I play that at a high speed, it'll sound in tune. It won't sound flat, certainly. And I use an extended fingering. I'm doing this for YouTube, so it'll be a little harder to see, but of course, there, which means the G's, you don't have time to move back and forth, so the G on the D string will be third finger. I would suggest this first one, it's an uneven number of two slurred and two separate. So as it comes, the first measure, then the second measure, slur the two, and then two ups. So for the audition, you'll be behind a screen, so it's almost concert time, so I'm getting my last cappuccino of the day. You'll be behind a screen, so we won't actually know what bowing you do unless you do something drastic. So if you're more comfortable playing, but I would say in general you're going to tend to sound a little less even if you do two slurred, two ups all the time. And it takes a bit more control to do it. So when I got into Philadelphia Orchestra, we never did those kind of bowings. That was, and now we do more of them than we did, 30 years ago. Now doing two as it comes, and the third one, two slurred and two ups, means you do have to make them all sound the same. The last time I didn't sound all that, the same. So now the other thing is the stroke itself. So as I said, prepare the stroke, find the speed you're going to do, and then practice the scale that speed. These are running notes, so I would do the scale that speed. So if you have to do a slower tempo, always, for those of you who are newer, I'll never play a tempo that's too fast for you to control. If you have any doubt, just play it a little bit slower. In a college orchestra audition, we probably won't take the time to ask you to play it faster. In a professional audition, you'd need to, have it sped up to the right speed. So if you play at this tempo, we won't, that's absolutely fine. Now, if you really want to be competitive for the higher seats, though, do get the tempo up. And the most important thing is it needs to sound clean. Both of these, all the eighth notes are forte. I had to double check because my part didn't match yours. I think mine's an older edition, and he didn't bother to write in a forte for the cellos and basses because I think there's a crescendo, or he writes it for the violins in the score or something, and it just didn't make it down to the bottom of the page. But if you do that speed, I'm doing a little bit, because I'm doing on the C string, I'm doing a little lower, closer to the frog than I normally would. And D majors, it makes sense to do D major. You could do A major, but that's actually going to be harder because you're going to go up here. And for that reason, it's not my personal favorite scale to play. I'm not used to I don't have a setup for up here. But that's pretty much it. Make sure your coordination is excellent. it does make sense to at least mentally figure out D string, G string, and then the other thing is maybe just start with the repeated notes. And when you're still learning the notes, if you're not quite there yet, if you're just getting started on this, I don't know how long ago you got the music, but start it on the string. I guess the first time you play this, it's going to be a little bit of a finger twister, like a tongue twister. So I do recommend, I'll talk about the A's in the second one when we get there. Third measure going up on the D string. So go up to second position and stay in second position until you play the low A again. So really it's only two positions. I'll do it slowly. Go on. Maybe that as it comes as well. I played through it twice to make sure, before I started videoing myself. So that's where I do have a forte printed, and it feels like it's out of the blue for me. But actually, he's just repeating the forte, so it's not extra forte or anything. However, there should be like a natural phrase diminuendo. So if you listen to the recording, of course. It's something. It is kind of like a timpani thing, but it should feel like a diminuendo unless the conductor, has a specific different idea. That's how I would expect to hear it played. If I hear somebody give the last note a whack, I would say, well, they sound less musical, and the majority of us will feel that way, at least if not all of us. So, and playing up bow helps with that, as does getting to the next. He wrote the cutoff. I assume these are the conductor's markings where to cut off, so play the downbeat. It's not like we're going to disqualify you for not doing so. Let's go to the next one now. This one, don't start on the open A. For me, I would start in third position just so I have less room to travel when I actually go back to first, but I will play open A. So that's the same as the first one, just a fifth higher. Notice both here and the first one, I unextend, I retract the fingers back. And this one, there are only two, so down, up, down, up, down, up, and then you're set. Go towards the downbeat, however. So. Downbeat, and each four that descend falling dynamic as well. And then restart, C sharp. Oh no, a different finger. Here I would suggest, for most of you, play open A and go immediately to the G string on fourth finger, so that we don't hear any more open A's after that point. I think that's probably what I did when I was in college. But unless you're very comfortable with octave and then eighths, I still don't recommend it. So practice that one carefully because it'll be a bit of a coordination skipping over the D string. And not weak, but a bit of a falling cadence as well. Then the whole string section comes in. So bum bum bum, and then bum ba ba, all still within forte but with phrasing. Okay, hope that helps.